up, YouTube? It's your boy. First off, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Second of all, Happy New Year's. I've been busy. Alright? It's not my fault. Actually, it might be. But, we're looking at the top 10 terrifying predictions for 2025. We pray don't come true. Let's just get into it.
So GPT-4, they test it before it comes out, and they're like, does it have dangerous capabilities? Can it deceive a human? Does it know how to make a chemical weapon? Does it know how to make a biological weapon? Does it know how to persuade people? Can it exfiltrate its own code? Can it make money on its own? Could it copy its code to another server and pay Amazon crypto money? And AI dictatorships, out of control deepfakes, mass animal extinction. These are the top 10 terrifying predictions for 2025. We pray don't come true. Imagine a world where a machine, not a human, makes all the most important decisions. Well, according to folks like Elon Musk and a whole swath of AI researchers, we might not be too far away from that becoming a reality. Musk has been warning for years about the dangers of unregulated AI, calling it one of the biggest threats to humanity. The fear is that as AI becomes more advanced, it could end up running entire countries, controlling military systems and making life or death decisions with little to no human oversight. Some researchers predict that AI could surpass human intelligence by 2025. Some say it already has.
But yeah, I'm about to say, wouldn't it already be smarter? I mean, it's a computer. How is a computer not smarter than a person?
And that makes it hard, if not impossible, for us to control it. This could lead to something terrifying, AI dictatorships. Here, we'll have AI running governments, dictating laws, controlling entire societies. Imagine a machine that monitors your every move, decides what jobs you can do, what healthcare you can receive, or how you should live your life in general. I don't think anyone is saying this is going to come to fruition in 2025, but that it's on the verge of happening. With AI evolving at such a fast speed, there's a real fear that we're losing control of something that was originally, supposedly, meant to serve.
Hubble contact lenses are dailies only. The safest and healthiest type of lens out there for minimizing bacteria.
Us. The animals of the planet may be in serious trouble, and some experts are predicting that we could be facing a mass extinction event by 2025. According to a number of scientists, species are disappearing at an alarming rate, faster than they ever have in human history. The World Wildlife Fund, I'm still bitter that they changed that, WWE. Ugh. Anyway, they warn that we are in the 6th mass extinction, with more than 1 million species at risk of vanishing within the next couple decades. It's not just big animals dying out, but smaller creatures like insects too, and without them, the entire food chain just collapses. Deforestation, pollution, as we destroy habitats and pollute the water, species are either dying off or being forced to adapt at a pace they can't keep up with. The loss of pollinators like bees, for example, could have huge consequences for the planet. Imagine a world where deepfakes, hyper-realistic AI-generated videos, are used not to just make funny memes online, but to trick people into believing false news. It really doesn't take a genius to see how dangerous deepfaking can get, especially with how fast the technology is advancing. In the next few years, deepfake technology could be weaponized in ways that could create chaos on a massive scale. Deepfakes can already make it look like anyone is saying anything, and now there's a very real concern that this tech could be used to fake emergency broadcasts or health warnings even. What makes this terrifying is how easy it would be to panic the public, have people canceled that don't deserve to be. People could be attacked in the street for doing something they never actually did. Governments and tech companies are trying to develop tools to detect deepfakes, but the tech is just advancing so fast that we're just on a constant game of catch-up. Drones aren't just for taking pictures or delivering packages. By 2025, drone warfare could be a major part of global conflict. Military drones are already used for surveillance and airstrikes, but they're getting smarter and more deadly every year. What's really terrifying is the possibility of drones being used in autonomous combat where, like I mentioned earlier, they could make life or death decisions on their own without any human influence. AI-powered drones operating in swarms, communicating with each other and coordinating attacks could change the way wars are fought. Even smaller groups or rogue states could get their hands on drone technology and use it to target military bases or even civilian populations. With each passing year, drones are getting closer and closer to being used on a more massive scale, leading to a kind of warfare that's faster, more unpredictable, and even harder to control, but most importantly, easier to carry out. I mean, killing is easy if you're doing it from the comfort of a chair far away from harm. Synthetic biology is becoming more of a reality every day as well. If you've never heard of George Church, he's a geneticist who's been working on this technology. His work focuses on genome editing, basically editing DNA to create either like new life forms or enhance the abilities of living things like you and me. It's really pushing the boundaries of what it means to be human. Scientists are already working on designer babies, editing genes to remove inherited diseases and enhancing things like strength, intelligence, or memory. Some predict that by 2025, there could be widespread genetic modification where human beings could literally choose the traits they want in their offspring or enhance their own bodies with biohacking techniques, at least within the next few years. Imagine people enhancing themselves with cybernetic limbs, enhanced vision, or AI-powered brain implants that could make us more than human, but also less human at the same time. It could be pretty cool, and there are definitely benefits to this type of thing, but it could also easily get out of hand. Will we still be human in the next few decades, or will it be something else entirely, and will we be ready to deal with it?
Do you want to see how much money you're eligible for? If you were in a car crash within the last 2 years, that was not your fault.
How would you feel if every move you made was being watched? Whether you're walking down the streets, logging into your computer, or even chatting with your friends. Some say this is already happening. I mean, your phone is pretty much listening to you all the time. Surveillance technology is only going to get more advanced as 2025 progresses. Are we going to be stuck in a global surveillance hell world by the end of next year? I mean, maybe not, but we're getting closer all the time. And it's not just government agencies keeping an eye on things either. With advancements in facial recognition, AI monitoring, smart devices, it's becoming easier for corporations to track people wherever they go. Reality is that cameras are already everywhere, and surveillance technology is getting more advanced by the day. Smart cities could be a huge part of this, where everything from traffic lights to street signs are connected to this system that can track every citizen's movement, gaining info on your habits, your preferences, maybe even your mood one day. We could see predictive surveillance as well, where AI analyzes data to anticipate what people might do before they even do it. Check out the anime Psycho-Pass if you're at all interested in that idea. The idea of the world's economy crashing might sound extreme, but by 2025 it could be closer to reality than we think. Right now, the global financial system is already under a lot of pressure. Countries are dealing with huge debt, rising costs, inflation. A lot of them are still trying to bounce back from economic crises like the one in 2020. The possibility of a worldwide economic collapse is becoming more likely. Some economists are saying that in the next few years, the way the world handles money could just totally break down. If countries can't get their finances under control, we could see hyperinflation where prices skyrocket, money loses.
Honestly, I really feel like cash is not even going to be a thing in a couple of years. Y'all can quote me on it, y'all can say I'm dumb, but bro, the way it's going now, with everybody paying with card, Apple Pay and all that, bro, cash isn't even going to be a thing in a few years, bro. And that's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
Its value. This could lead to massive job losses and millions of people being unable to afford even the basics, and this would set up a chain reaction, unrest, chaos for people all over the world. In 2025, we could see cyber terrorism becoming even more prevalent than it already is. Hackers, either working on their own or employed by their own country, could launch attacks on power grids, water systems, healthcare systems, throwing entire cities into chaos. What's scarier is that these cyber attacks could be almost impossible to trace. A single cyber attack could seriously mess things up for a whole country. It could shut down communication systems, crash the economy, but it's not just governments that are in danger. Businesses, hospitals, even regular people like you and me could be targeted. Imagine you wake up to find your bank account locked and your devices are all hacked. Not that that doesn't already happen now, but with the rise of AI and machine learning, cyber criminals are getting better at these attacks every day. They can move faster, think smarter, and make it harder for us to stop them. Within the next few years, climate change could force millions of people to leave their homes in search of safer ground. Rising sea levels, extreme natural disasters, failed crops, it'll all make some areas basically unlivable, creating what many experts are calling the first wave of climate refugees. These are people who have no choice but to leave their homes because the land they live on just isn't sustainable anymore. The most affected areas will likely be low-lying coastal regions and areas experiencing extreme droughts or flooding. People will migrate in search of water, food, basic resources, and just so that they can live in a place where they are constantly having to worry about being swept away in a monster tsunami. As more people are displaced, we could see global migration reach levels never seen before. This could cause political chaos, with governments struggling to take care of their own population, but also dealing with the needs of refugees. And that kind of leads into the next point, water. We all need it, but what if there's not enough to go around? According to a United Nations report, by 2025, almost 2/3 of the world's population could face severe water shortages. That means billions of people could be without access to clean drinking water. It's not just a third world problem. Countries like India, China, even the US could be facing this. Why is this happening? Well, climate change is making water sources less predictable. The pollution is contaminating rivers and lakes. On top of that, the world's growing population and overconsumption are putting a huge pressure on water supplies. In some regions, like the Middle East and parts of Africa, people already live in what's known as water scarcity, meaning they don't have enough water to meet their daily needs. As fresh water becomes more scarce, countries could start fighting over it, just like how we fight over oil. Tensions over water rights are already on the rise, and some are warning that if something isn't done soon, we could see more water wars, and that's a global crisis we don't want to face. But at the end of the day, we really don't know what's going to happen in the future. I got faith in humanity, I really do. I try to, anyway. With all that said,
I don't.